Let's make some Christmas cards. So for this Christmas card, I'm using the Scenic Borders from Sara's Contemporary Christmas and Sentimental Christmas Sentiment Set. I'm also using some of the glitter cardstock from the Winterwonderland set. So it's great to be able to take a bunch of different Christmas products and put them all together and make a really great card. So I'm gonna start with a card base of 4 1/4. So this card is gonna go lengthwise, and I'm gonna score it at 5 1/2. I'm also going to put some matting down made with the glitter cardstock, and I'm gonna trim the glitter cardstock the exact same size as the front of my card base. So it's gonna be 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 cut. And that's gonna fit exactly on the front of my card base. And I'm just gonna put it down with some double-sided tape. So now your card base should look like this. All right, set it aside. I'm also going to trim some more white cardstock to 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 again. So these are the pieces I'm gonna use for my die cutting. I'm just gonna lie this down on my Gemini Junior plate, and I'm gonna take the houses and lay it right across. And that's where I'm gonna let my die just hang over the edge. Just gonna put a little bit of low tack tape to keep it in place, and I'm gonna run it through the Gemini. Plastic shim, magnetic, top plate. Now what I love about these dies is that it cuts into the bottom part and leaves all of those houses. Okay, and we'll take our second piece and even further down. So I want to put also a row of trees down, but the die naturally wants to cut the trees on this side, but I'd like for the trees to sit over here since my houses are over there. So what I'm gonna do is on my next piece of cardstock, I'm gonna tape that in place. And then when it comes out of the die cutting machine, I'm just gonna snip there with my scissors. So just because the die doesn't do exactly what you want it to do, doesn't mean you can't use it. You can always find a way. So just be careful when you're taking it out, not to rip it. And then just bring your scissors over and meet it right at that cut line. There. So now it's gonna look even better if we have some dimension on this card. It's gonna look a little more like rolling hills if we put some foam adhesive behind there, just to give it a bit of texture. Now, before I adhere this down, I wanna put on my sentiment. And since this is a fairly neutral and simple card, I thought using a bright red ink for the sentiment would really make it pop. So I'm using the Merry Christmas in the Sentimental Christmas stamp set with the red berry harmony ink. Got it all inked up. And now since my card naturally is going from left to right, I'm gonna bring my sentiment back to the left. That's just gonna help your eye zigzag across the entire card, keeping things nice and even. Okay, so it's really gonna look good if I have some dimension in between the layers here. So I'm gonna take foam tape and put it all along the back and do the same with the front. If you want a lot of dimension, you can even layer up the foam adhesive. So I'm just gonna be careful to make sure it's even at the bottom. Using that foam tape just helps create that little bit of shadowing. Look at the nice texture you're getting here now. Just for a few little embellishments, I'm gonna take a couple little sequins and just placing them just sort of randomly on the card. And that's it. This card is done. I hope this helps you have an extra handmade Christmas.